Hello everyone. Welcome to Amrita S monthly current affair series, and we are doing the second session of July, that is indexes and report. So starting with the first one, international ones. So starting the first one is global multidimensional poverty index. Very important index for our exam preparation. This index is prepared by UNDP and OPHI, that is Oxford Poverty Human Development Initiative. Okay, so it tackles both the things. First, the incidence of it as well as the intensity of it. And this is very important, not only seeing how many people are poor but also the deprivation criteria. In fact, one question in the main exam has already been asked that poverty cannot be measured only in terms of the numbers but also the extent of the deprivation as well. So MPI value range from 0 to 1. 0 stands for less poverty and 1 stands for more poverty. Now the indicators of this, actually we have discussed global multidimensional poverty index before as well, so we have to move very quickly. So there are 3 dimensions of poverty they have taken, and every dimension has the equal weightage. Then they are divided into sub dimensions. Okay, so health, education and living standards. Within the health we have nutrition and child mortality, education, year of schooling and school attendance, and the living standards, the other cooking, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, housing. And so these are the indicators through which we measure the global poverty index, multidimensional poverty index. So if you see one in this year's report, one graph they have represented. So you can see that China and India. So China and India, if you see how much they have reduced the poverty, is 0 number and 1 number, or 1 number there. So India is also reducing, but the way that China has reducing, it's almost reducing their absolute poverty to 0. It is very interesting phenomena, isn't it? Right? So this is that. Next is World Drug Report. Very easy. United Nations Office on Drug and Crime. We have discussed many of the reports of UNODC. One report we have discussed with respect to the South Asia and Southeast Asia drug report, right? And we have discussed the impact of the COVID-19 on the drug situation. In fact, the supply of the drug has increased in this COVID-19 situation. Next is Global Real Estate Transparency Index. This index is being released by a John Lang Cellanx, a global real estate firm. Not important, but just like we have discussed the rule of law index, right? That was asked in UPSC, so we should not leave these indexes. So real estate transparency index means how much transparent the real estate sector is. Okay, and India ranks 34, so a good rank based upon the this clean market data and enhanced sustainable initiative, this housing initiatives, this RERA initiative, right? Regulatory authority we have come up with in 2016. So this has been tracking the real estate transparency since 1999. This recent survey covers 99 country and 163 city regions. Okay, the next is Sustainable Ocean Economy for 2050 report. So basically this report is an interesting report. This report highlights both the benefits and the cost of the ocean economy, and the conclusion it comes out and says that overall there will be net global benefit of implementing a sustainable ocean based intervention over a 30 over period from 2030 to 2020 to 2050. Ocean economy, we can expect one question on this ocean economy, especially I'm expecting one essay on ocean economy or blue economy, so one can be prepared with respect to that. Okay, so high level panel on sustainable economies has come up with this report. We'll discuss this also in detail. India is not the member of this high level panel. This is a 14 nation panel is there. So I had a high level panel sustainable ocean, this commissioned this report to examine the global net benefit of the implementation of sustainable ocean based intervention. About this high level panel on sustainable economic ocean panel, on sustainable economy. So India is not a member. It's comprised of 14 serving world leaders building momentum towards a sustainable ocean economy. Okay, supported by United Nations Secretary General's Special Envoy for Ocean. Then we have very important report. We have discussed that in the July month last time, also in July 2019 as well. So we are completing an year cycle as I discussed in the June month also. So state of food security and nutrition in the world. So it is first of all released annually released by Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, first. Then in International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. So IFAD, FAO. Then we have World Food Program, right? World Food Program, World Health Organization, and UNICEF is also there. So a lot of multi-agency collaboration is there to produce this state of food security and nutrition in the world 2020. And all these new reports that are coming, they have all taken into account the COVID-19 situation. And now it says that world is not on track on achieving SDG of zero hunger. Why? Because of this lockdown, the problems of the economy, all these things say that we are not on track to achieve our target. Next is United Nations Environment Program report, that is UNEP report on the zoonotic disease. What are zoonotic disease? We have discussed too many times. Zoonotic disease are those which are transferred from animal to human beings. Which are transferred from animal to the human beings. Okay. Right. So according to the report published by the United Nations Environment Program and the International Livestock Research Institute, so UNEP and International Livestock Research Institute, around 60% of the infectious disease in the human and 75% of all the emerging infections are zoonotic. So the topic of the report itself is preventing the next pandemic. Now, over the course of previous 2 to 3 months, I have discussed in detail, or I've given you the idea how basically going forward this zoonotic disease are going to increase, and the probability, I will say, the probability of having these pandemics or even epidemics at the local level is going to increase. Why? Because the more and more the humans are getting close to the wildlife, because of the shrinking wildlife space, habitat space is shrinking, and humans are encroaching upon the areas which were till now being the spaces of the pristine spaces of the wildlife. So the possibility of and we are our eating habits in some of the countries such as we have discussed, China, Taiwan. So that increases basically the probability of the transfer of the disease from the animals to the humans. Next is Global E-Waste Monitor Report. So E-Waste Monitor Report. This report is being published by the United Global E-Waste Statistics Partnership, formed by United Nations University, ITU, International Telecommunication Union, International Solid Waste Association, United Nations Environment Program. Okay, so Asia generated the highest quantity, followed by the America and Europe. Europe ranked first worldwide in terms of the e-waste generation per capita. India, third time as we have discussed, India is the third largest e-waste generator in the world after China and USA. In this COVID pandemic, we have forgotten other problems which are facing the nation: solid waste management, pollution problem, e-waste, which is becoming a big problem. Last time also I showed you this diagram. So what are the reasons for this increasing e-waste? So high disposable income, urbanization, industrialization, high consumption rate, short life cycle, and few repair options. So if your phone or a small problem comes, you better change that phone to the new one if you have good income, rather than repairing this one. So that all increases the e-waste. Okay. Right. So again, this is released by the multiple organizations. ITU is there, obviously ITU is there. And then United Nations Environment Program is also there. So keep that in mind. Then we have SDG Index. This SDG Index is being released by, not by United Nations, but by Sustainable Development Solutions Network and Bertelsmann Stiftung. Okay, we have discussed that detail in previous months. SDG Index we have discussed. So India is standing at 117th rank, and the first rank is being shared by is held by the Sweden. They also taken into account this COVID-19 situation, and they have found that many of the SDGs, more importantly SDG 1, this poverty, SDG 2, hunger, we are not on way of to achieve all these things. So now they are talking about this, that some sort of 6 transformation they are talking about, 6 transformation they need. So leaving no one behind, circularity and decoupling, these words you can use in your essay and your mains answer writing. So transformation 1, education, gender and inequality. Transformation 2, health, well-being, demography. Transformation 3, energy, decarbonization and sustainable industry. Transformation 4, sustainable food, land and water and ocean. Transformation 5, sustainable cities, and 6 is digital revolution for sustainable development. So these are the transformation they talk about that we require going forward. Next is gender, climate and security, sustaining inclusive peace on the front line of climate change report. Very good report, will be very good insights into climate change, women empowerment. Okay, so released by United Nations Environment Program, United Women. So women is there, so United Women. Climate is there, so United Nations Environment Program. Then UNDP is also there, United Nations Department for Political and Peace Building Affairs. This report is important for this exam, if not for pre, then for mains itself. Then some indexes and reports, let us see, of India. First is very famous NIRF ranking, that is National Institutional Ranking Framework. Since 2015 they are coming up with this. Many parameters are there, you need to know the parameters, their weightage, or at least you know that the weightage are different. Okay, so this is being released by the Ministry of HRD, now Ministry of Education. So the idea is to again to compare all these colleges so as to create a sense of the competitiveness. So there are 5 parameters: teaching and learning resources, research and professional practice, graduation outcome, outreach, inclusivity and perception. Highest weightage is given to the teaching, learning and resources. Then research, professionals and practices, graduation outcome 20%, outreach 10%. This is 90% of the objective criteria, and this is 10% of the subjective, that is the perception of an institute. Okay, so in every case, for example, in all college category, overall category, university category, so they have categorized all these universities, right? So overall is IIT Madras is at the top. You just need to keep that in mind, otherwise not an issue. University also, remember, ISC Bangalore is at the top at the university level. I don't think any other field is too much important. Next is Financial Management Index for the Rural Development, FMI for Rural Development, by the Ministry of Rural Development. This index is being released, is basically ranks the performance of the state on certain parameters. What are those parameters? So Financial Management Index for Rural Development, so something in the rural development. So annual plan, expeditious release of the state share, because a lot of fund to this rural bodies, panchayats, come from the discretion of the states. Okay, timely utilization of the fund, that is also a big problem, that even if we do have the money, we don't have the timely utilization of that. That is also the case. So this is being released by the Ministry of Rural Development. Then we have Indian report on the digital education. Very interesting report. If you please download, and it seems that they have dedicated all their resources to making this report itself. Very beautifully created report. But now I see so many good reports released by the India Niti Aayog. Like too much professional reports are there, but on the ground, I hope the same things are there. Right. So this is by the MHRD. Again, Ministry of Education, Indian report on digital education. Now this obviously talks about the COVID-19 situation, the online learning situation. Okay, so the report elaborates the innovative method adopted by the MHRD for ensuring accessible and inclusive education to child at home, reducing learning gaps during the COVID-19 pandemic. The last one is Voluntary National Review, VNR. So VNR are given by the Niti Aayog, right? So it is basically idea that how we are progressing on the front of the sustainable development. So Niti Aayog presented India's second voluntary national review at the United Nations High Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development, presented in 2017. First VNR was at the 2019 report. The title is Taking SDG, Sustainable Development Goal from Global to Local. Then vocal for local, isn't it? The Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, so the responsible authority is the Niti Aayog is the responsible authority. Along with Niti Aayog, it takes into the collaboration with the MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So, for example, what they have done: so localization imperative, competitive and comparative federalism, localized solution, improved space capacity. What they say, that the government at the different level should shoulder different responsibility. Localization enables each level to play its role. No one size fits all policy, developing local solution. All levels of government have opportunity to improve their capabilities, right? And then localized SDG and localized development, that is the theme of it. So with this, we finish our session, finish our discussion part. Now let us see some of the questions. First question is, which of the following pollutants are measured by the World Air Quality Index? So World Air Quality Index we have not read. Air Quality Index we know. So which of the following parameters are there? So World Air Quality Index, it is being created by the people sitting in the China. So World Air Quality Project is a non-profit project. It started in 2007. First, let us see. So if you go on the website, they calculate the air quality of many places. They have set up their monitoring there only, right? So this is index is a measurement of the particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM 10, ozone, O3, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. So these are there. All the measured are on the hourly readings. For example, AQI reported at 8 a.m. means measurement was done from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. So the founding team of it is located in China, is composed of several contributors in the domain of the environmental sciences, system engineering and data science, as well as visual design. The project is providing transparent air quality information for more than 100 countries. More than 12,000 stations they have created in 100 major cities. Okay. So this is that. So what will be the answer? PM 2.5 right, ozone right, lead, ammonia are not there, nitrogen oxide is there. So 1, 2 and 5 will be the answer. The answer will be A. So even if we have not covered this, we are covering it with questions. Next is EPI, that is Environment Performance Index. So it is being released by UNEP. First option. The second, it comes out every year indicating which countries are the best addressing the environmental challenges. Let us wait, then we will start. Okay, so what is the answer? Answer is that both of them is wrong. It is not released by the UNEP, and then it does not come out every year. It comes out every 2 years. In 2020 recently it has come out, and that is why it has become important for our exam. I told you June and July month. Even if you have not seen the previous video, if you just see the June and July month of this year, at least 1 to 2 questions will be coming from this sessions only. June and July. Okay, so India has secured 168th rank of the 12th edition. Earlier our rank was in 2018 was 177. So on 177 we have come to 168. Okay, the first rank is done by the Denmark, the first nation. So it's a biennial, that means 2 years, once in 2 years they publish this index. Measured the environment performance of the 180 countries, was released by the Yale University in 2020. June 2020 they have released it. So Environment Performance Index, right. So it is being released by the Yale University and the Columbia University with the assistance from the World Economic Forum. Okay, remember Yale plus Columbia in assistance with the World Economic Forum. Next, so the answer is neither 1, neither 2. These questions you can expect. The questions on these lines you can expect, because it's very easy to assume that's Environmental Performance Index. Intuitively it says, okay, it should be UNEP. No, it's not UNEP. It is Yale and Columbia University, and it is released once in 2 years. Next, very easy. That is, just 1 second, sorry. Trade Service Trade Restrictiveness Index. So STRI. This index is donating the information on the regulations affecting the trades and service, is being released by which? Let us wait for 5 seconds. Right, I hope you have got the answer. We have discussed this as well. So STRI. So STRI is being released by the OECD. That is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So launched in 2014, STRI computes the data of 45 economies, 36 OECD economies. Out of 45 economies, 36 OECD economies. So they take care of that, how the service, what are the restrictions in the trades and service are there of these countries. India has found problem with the current method under which OECD countries rank countries on their service trade policies, indicative their outcomes are biased and counterintuitive. And this is why it becomes important, because India has responded to this particular index. Okay, so whether it's favorable to India or sometimes it is not favorable to India, but if India is sensitive towards it, then it becomes an important index. This is released by the OECD. Okay, next is very important. We have discussed that normalized difference vegetation index. Consider the following statement. Normalized difference vegetation index. So it measures the density of the vegetation in a particular region by measuring the difference between the visible and the infrared sunlight reflected by the plants. I should not. Second option, it is a technique used in tracking of the presence of the wild elephants. So we'll wait. Okay. Even if you don't know, don't worry. This is, you will add on. It will add on to your information repository, right? So this is the whole purpose behind discussing these questions. So let us see. So both the options are right actually. Just one second. Let us see. Both the options are right. So it does measure the density of the vegetation in a particular region by measuring the difference between the visible and the infrared sunlight. Okay. And it is used for the tracking of the wild elephants. So if you see, so this basically remote sensing measuring the difference between the infrared and the red light vegetation across. It has been used to estimate the amount of the food abundance available for the herbivorous animals. So the more greenery it is, the more reflective of the index it is, right? So it can be used to track the presence of the elephant. So if the elephants will be there only and only if the vegetation will be there. So if there is a good vegetation, the probability of having the wild elephants increases. Okay. So for example, you can see if it is very green, then the reflection of near infrared increases and visible is less. If it is not green, then infrared is less and visible increases. And based upon that, they calculate this normalized difference vegetation index. Okay. So healthy vegetation reflects more infrared and the green compared to the other wavelength, right? But it absorbs more red and the blue light. Okay. So this is NDVI. So both the options are right. Next is E-Government Developmental Index is released by which of the following? E-Government Developmental Index. So let us see. Just wait. Okay, so it is being released basically by the United Nations Public Administration Program. Okay. So basically it's a recent one. So United E-Government Development Index, it basically comprises of the three sub-indexes. So first is Online Service Index, second is Human Capital Index, and third is Telecommunication Infrastructure Index. So this E-Government Development Index is a survey conducted annually, and those report published by every 2 years by the United Nations Public Administration Program, and the three index that are there. What about India? Not very important actually. There are two indexes in this, E-Government Index and second is E-Participation Index. So in 2018, it happens every 2 years. In 2018, we were at 96 and this time we are at 100 rank. Okay, so it does not only take care of the e-governance, for example, not only the assessment of the website development pattern, but also the infrastructure, education level to reflect how a country is using information technology to promote access and inclusion of its people. Okay, so this is not very important index, I'll say, but just this thing you need to remember. It is released by which of the following. You cannot remember each and every index and what's India's rank in it, right? So this is not feasible for us to remember. So with this, we finish this particular session. I hope you are learning through questions. Questions gives another dimension to learn actually. As I told you, if you're watching these sessions, please let us know in the comment box as well that how these sessions are, as in these question pattern that we are following, how these sessions are. At least we are using 10 to 15 minutes extra, 10 minutes extra because of those, but we are learning as well. Okay. So we are done with the session. Let us quickly see what we have done. So we started with the discussion on the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index that is being released by the UNDP and OPHI, that is Oxford Poverty Human Development Initiative. Okay, so they take care of not only the incidence but also the intensity of the poverty. Then World Drug Report 2020, it is released by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime. So it outlines the possible consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic on the illegal drug production. Then we have Global Real Estate Transparency Index. So this is released by a global real estate firm. India ranks 34 on it, so good ranking is there. Then Sustainable Ocean Economy for 2050 report, high level panel for the sustainable economy. India is not a member of it. So remember, it becomes relatively more, for example, this becomes relatively more important. Then State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World Report, Annual Report, FAO, IFAD, UNICEF, World Food Program, WHO, all these are part of this report. Then United Nations UNEP report on the zoonotic disease. the heading of the preventing the next pandemic. Then Global E-Waste Monitor Report 2020. So this report is the collaborative product of the main institute, that is Global E-Waste Statistic Partnership, United Nations University, International Telecommunication Union, International Solid Waste Association, United Nations Environment Program. Then SDG Index by Sustainable Development Solutions Network. And next is Gender Climate Security. So a lot of institutes again come together for this report: UNEP, UNDP, UNDPPA, and UN Women. Then with respect to India, we have discussed NIRF ranking. So 5 parameters are there: teaching, learning, resource, research, and this teaching and learning resources, research and professional practices, graduation outcomes, outreach, and then finally perception. Financial Management Index for Rural Development by MORD. Then Indian Report on the Digital Education by MHRD. And finally the Voluntary National Review. This is with respect to the Sustainable Development Goal. So we are done with this. The questions we have discussed: first is World Air Quality Index. We have discussed, so lead and ammonia not part of it. People sitting in the Beijing are doing it. 12,000 base stations are there. Then Environment Performance Index, India has improved from 177 to 168. Then STRI, that is Service Trade Restriction Index, we have seen. Then Normalized Difference Vegetation Index. And lastly the question E-Government Development Index, which is being released by the United Nations Public Administration Program. So with this we finish our session of indexes and report of July month. So we are done with the 20 questions we have discussed till now. Okay, so we keep on discussing the questions as well along with our June and July session. We hope that at majority of the current affair question are from our series, because we were really hard in composing this series, bringing out you this series, and many students have worked hard with us as well. Okay, so see you in the next class everyone. Bye bye for now. Thank you.